Coming up on Look Today, well, the Saratoga City Charter Review Commission voted in favor of special elections. I've got details. And Glens Falls Hospital introduces new technology that will help detect cancer in early stages. More on that coming up. And after countless challenges, Hamlet and Ghost in Saratoga Springs reopens. I've got details. It's all ahead on Look Today. Welcome everyone, happy Friday. I'm Jay Hood Jackson and this is Look Today. In tonight's program, I sit down with Jonathan Newell. He's the executive director of the Hudson River Music Hall, and he's here to talk about the Strand Theater and upcoming shows happening at this new venue. And I also sit down with Marty Vanix. He's the president of the Saratoga County Prosperity Partnership. He's here to talk about upcoming classes that will help small businesses in our local region. Plus, we've got your weekend weather for the Tri-North counties. But first, these headline stories. Well, in our lead story, the Saratoga City Charter Review Commission voted 12-2 in favor of holding the charter referendum at a special election on May 30th. Now, according to the commission's chair, Bob Turner, the city charter is a constitutional issue that should be kept separate from the politics of a general election. And we spoke to Bob about this.
So at our January 10th meeting, the Charter Review Commission voted 12-2 to hold a special election on May 30th to consider the new and revised charter that we are currently drafting. We felt it was important to hold that during a special election as opposed to a city election because we were concerned that it would get wrapped up in the sort of normal sort of partisan and bickering of a traditional election.
Now, May 30th. By the way, is the last Tuesday that a special election can be held, while also allowing new candidates to choose to run for City Council in 2017. Now, despite whether the charter referendum succeeds or fails, now we're going to have more updates on this in the coming weeks. And don't forget, check your local listings to watch the Saratoga City Council meeting unedited in its entirety here on Look TV. In other news, Glens Falls Hospital has introduced a new 3D mammography technology that increases the chances of detecting breast cancer in early stages. Well, the new technology enables doctors to view the breast tissue one layer at a time, decreasing the chances of overlooking cancerous cells. Now, we spoke to Michelle Schwartz. She's the operations manager for the Breast Cancer Center at Glens Falls Hospital.
The machine itself actually performs 3D mammography. So what it does is it's taking images in 1 millimeter slices through the breast tissue in hopes that, something that could otherwise hide and be obscured by other overlying tissue, we will be able to see it and identify it.
Switching from news to weather. Well, today saw the sun and a decline in temperatures into the mid-30s. Let's see how the weekend is shaping up. For a more detailed look at our weather, we're going to head to the Glens Falls Weather Center for a look at your first weekend forecast.
Thank you, Jesse. Well, we've seen temperatures crashing down throughout the daytime, but you're going to want to really bundle back up as we head throughout the overnight hours. High pressure really giving us those winds around the front side of that high. So we'll see that wind still coming in from the north, and that's what's been cooling us down throughout the daytime. We expect to see single-digit overnight lows across a good chunk of the region as skies remain nice and clear. Nothing over top of us to insulate in any warmth whatsoever. It's going to be extremely chilly. You can see 8 degrees in Albany, 1 degree up in Burlington, Vermont, 5 here across a good chunk of the Tri-North counties. Higher elevations likely see temperatures tumbling back down well below the 0-degree mark, and we'll see wind chills around the -1 to -2-degree mark at times. So extremely cold out. Going to want to bundle back up if you have to go outside early, and we're going to see highs still remaining rather chilly. 6-mile-an-hour winds out of the south, 25 degrees for the daytime high. So we'll still see wind chills at times at the 19 to 20 degree range. Mostly sunny skies though, however. however, taking us into the daytime Saturday. And speaking of the cold temperatures getting out the door early on our Saturday morning, we're going to see temperatures around the single-digit to 12-degree range. On a bundle back up because it'll still feel like it's near zero. Over the next couple days, however, we're going to see that temperature start to come back up, thankfully above freezing as we head through the daytime Monday. So a pretty cool weekend lays ahead, but for our MLK Day, we're going to see that temperature back up to 35 after a morning low of 11. Then temperatures start to reach back up in the 40s for Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. Now, the next chance of rain starts to set back in as well. Well, that's it from the Look TV Weather Center. I'm your meteorologist, Brandon Boucher, and now let's get back to you, Jesse.
Thanks, Brad. All right, back to the news. You know, after that devastating fire on Thanksgiving Day, it forced businesses to close, including the demolition of 2 buildings. Now, one of the restaurants, believe it or not, is back on their feet. Hamlet and Ghost, located on the corner of Putnam and Caroline Street, is up and running and open for business. We spoke to Brendan Dillon. He's an owner of Hamlet and Ghost.
You know, it's been interesting and it's been a learning experience. I've learned a lot. So, you know, I would say overall I wouldn't want to do it again, but I've learned a lot, and we're back open, we're serving drinks, that's what we really want to do.
Boy, you really got to hand it to Brandon. They've had their share of challenges over Hamlet and Ghost. But please, if you're in Saratoga, downtown Saratoga, right on the corner of Putnam and Caroline is Hamlet and Ghost. Stop in. Up next, I sit down with Jonathan Newell. He's the executive director of the Hudson River Music Hall in Hudson Falls. He's here to talk about the Strand Theater in Hudson Falls and the upcoming shows happening at the venue. Plus, I also sit down with Marty Vanix. He's the president of the Saratoga County Prosperity Partnership. He's here to talk about some upcoming classes and workshops that will help small businesses in our local region. You want to know about this. But first, if you see news happening, you want to share a story idea. How about join us for an interview? Give us a call on the hotline. The number is 798-8000. Well, that's all the time we have for this edition of Look Today. It's Friday, so I want to thank the team. And that's Jesselyn and Drew and Andrew, Jack, Joel, and Norm for making this show possible each week. Speaking of Jesselyn is still going to be involved with us, but Jesselyn is taking on a new career in Albany. So the best of luck to you, Jesselyn, from all of us here. Couple of other lookouts. This weekend is that wonderful event in Saratoga, the Mardi Gras event. The money's going to help Cafe Lena. So if you're in Saratoga and you're looking for a good time, the Mardi Gras event is this weekend. Also, lookout goes to Cameron at Cumbies off of exit 18 in Glens Falls. It's where I get my coffee every morning. So lo and behold, this morning I walk in there, and yesterday morning I walk in and she goes, "Happy birthday!" It was a real surprise. They're wonderful in there, by the way. They always say good morning to you, and of course they have the best coffee. Cumbies off of exit 18 there. Also, a reminder that this weekend a lot of very interesting events and community outreach for Martin Luther King, to celebrate Martin Luther King's birthday. Check that out in Glens Falls and Saratoga, particularly, a lot of things going on. And last but not least, I got to step out just a little bit here, but speaking of Martin Luther King, and it's not connected to him, but I'll make the connection in a second. This morning I heard something, and a phrase I'd never heard before, prosperity ministers. I was like, prosperity ministers, what is that? Well, lo and behold, those are $1 million preachers who somehow believe, anybody remember Tammy and Jim Baker? Okay. They're $1 million preachers who believe that God personally intercedes and creates billionaires to take care of the rest of us. You want to get a look at these people? 6 of them, I understand, are invited to Washington, D.C. next Friday. Rumor has it they're having trouble finding entertainment, so maybe it's got something to do with that. But you know what really I thought about? I thought about Jesus, Buddha, Gandhi, Mother Teresa, Martin Luther King. What about them? I wonder. All right, have a safe weekend. It's going to get cold. Bundle up, and we'll see you back here Monday night for the stories that matter to you. Good night, everyone.